My dear 5th grade children, good morning to all. How are you, ma? Are you fine? I hope that you are doing very well. Children, please stay in your home. So be happy. Okay, let us start to study social online class. Okay, do you like to study social science? Okay, ma. Okay, very fine. Last class we have learned the unit 12, that is the title of this lesson is India's non-material heritage. So from this lesson we have learned some of this oral tradition and the performing arts. This non-material heritage can be divided mainly 6 categories. First of all, we have learned the oral tradition. That is, the oral tradition means it included stories, songs, etc. Yes, in India, knowledge and learning was passed on orally. In ancient period, this knowledge and learning was passed on orally. That is, orally means through telling, not for writing. For many centuries, people followed only this oral tradition only, because very few people knew how to read and write. Most of the people don't know how to write and read. So, very few people only knew how to read and write. So, teachers, storytellers, and puppeteers are very important, because the following members only passed on knowledge and learning. Several things were passed on this way. That is, the skills of crafts, musical knowledge, religious ideas and customs, as well as stories about themes and gods. So, this knowledge, these many skills passed on only oral tradition. This oral tradition still exists. Mainly these 4 Vedas, that is, we learnt Rigejur, Sama, Atharvana, that is 4 Vedas, and we have 2 epics, that is the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, were passed on orally for centuries and centuries. Indians, we have mainly 2 epics, that is Ramayana and Mahabharata. This Ramayana and the Mahabharata were passed on orally for centuries. For many centuries. The 2 epics continue to be retold through songs, stories, and plays. The important 2 epics. What is the epic meaning? Epic means a long poem about the doings of great people. That is Ramayana. Ramayana means that the king Rama and Sita, Bharata, that is great peoples. So, we have mainly 2 epics, that is Ramayana and the Mahabharata. So, what is epic? Epic means a long poem about the doings of great people. Okay, so this knowledge, this Ramayana and Mahabharata were passed on orally for centuries. Centuries means we know 100 years. The two epics continue to be retold. It is passed one century to another centuries through oral. The two epics continue to be retold through songs or stories and plays. Okay, the two epics continue to be retold through songs, stories and plays. Stories like the Jataka tales or the Panchatantra stories. So the important themes of the stories also mainly Panchatantra stories, that is very famous for ancient people, and the skills of crafts such as how to carve a statue on god, goddess, how to weave a carpet. These skills also they get the knowledge through oral practice only. Okay, so India's non-material heritage can be divided into mainly 6 categories. The first one is oral tradition, that is everything or all the knowledge passing from one century to another century is through orally only. Oral means I can able to hearing only, not for listening only, not for reading, and they don't know reading and writing. Telling orally. Okay, that is a oral tradition. Second of we see that the performing arts. The performing arts, that is dance, drama and music, have a very old history in India. This performing arts, the category performing arts included that drama, music and dance. About 2000 years ago, Bharata was the king ruled Bharata, that is India. Bharata, who was the great emperor, ruled our country. So this Bharata wrote the Natya Shastra. Here Natya means this art of acting and dancing. This Natya means art of acting and dancing. Shastra means the rules. That is in the previous class we have learned, and different types of dances. First of all, this Natya Shastra gives some of the rules for classical dance. In ancient India, classical dance were used in worship in temples, but nowadays it is used in public or cultural programs in public places also. Okay, then ancient period, as most dances were for worship, they had religious themes. All the dances, in most dances were for worship, and they get religious themes, pray to God, and also themes also have. But only Kathak, which developed few centuries ago only, it is in a royal courts. Kathakali is the in Kerala famous dance for men, that is Kathak. In Kerala, Kathakali performed by men, yes, and Mohiniyattam performed by women. Okay, but Kathak means that is mainly developed in few centuries ago and in royal courts. It is both religious and non-religious themes. There are different types of classical dances from various regions of India. In India also different types of classical dances, that is Satriya, that dance from Assam, the state Assam. Satriya from Assam state, and Bharatanatyam from, that's we know, Bharatanatyam from Tamil Nadu, Kathak from North India. Okay, in North India, that is Kathak, Manipuri from Manipur state, Odissi from Odisha state, and Kuchipudi from Andhra Pradesh. From Kerala, Kathakali performed by men, at the same time Mohiniyattam performed by women. So, these folk dances and tribal dances are different from classical dance. Okay, these folk dances and tribal dances are different from the classical dance, because these classical dances, they celebrate events and festivals in lives of the people. Classical dances are different from classical dances. They celebrate events, any particular event or any festivals in the lives of the people. For example, in classical dance, Bhangra, this dance from Punjab state, Bhangra from Punjab state, and Bihu, spell that word Bihu, Bihu from Assam. These two dances, that is Bhangra in Punjab and Bihu from Verma, Bihu from Assam. Okay, these are harvest dances. Harvest dances means, do you know? Yes, the plants, crops grown. So, at that time, these crops are cutting. At that time, they sing a song, that is a harvest crops. That is Bhangra in Punjab and Bihu from Assam. These are the harvest dances. And such traditional dances are found all over India. The harvest dances, they are classical dance, folk dance, and such traditional dances also. Traditional dance, traditional means we know the culture, it passed from one generation to other, or it changes from generation to generation, or one person to other person. This is the tradition. So, such important traditional dances are found all over India. One of these is the Sog dance from parts of Odisha. We already studied that Odisha from, the dance is Odissi from Odisha. And here another one dance from Odisha, that is Chahu. Jharkhand and West Bengal, their dancers usually wear mask while they dance. West Bengal, the Chahu dances, the people used mask. Okay, are found all over India. This Chahu dance from parts of Odisha, Jharkhand and West Bengal. Odisha, Jharkhand and West Bengal. These dancers usually wear mask while they dance. Okay, this soft dance, they wear mask while they are dancing time. Okay, then we see that this performing arts included drama, music and dance. Then now we see the drama. What is drama? Each place followed the rules of the Natya Shastra. This dance and drama and music, everything that is followed the rules of the Natya Shastra. Some of these plays are still performed. Some of these plays are still performed. Folk theatre usually tells stories from Ramayana or Mahabharata. Now listen here, drama means also, this drama also followed the rules of the Natya Shastra. Okay, and yearly plays followed the rules of Natya Shastra. Yearly plays followed the rules of Natya Shastra. Some of these plays are still performed. Okay, that is also still performed. This folk theatre usually tells stories from Ramayana and Mahabharata. Mainly, this folk theatre mainly shows us the Ramayana, the Mahabharata. Okay. Since the last century, folk theatre has also performed plays with other topics. Folk theatres still serve in different parts of the country. Okay. So drama, these are the performing arts. Then next we see that music. India's musical heritage is old too. India's musical heritage is an old. Dance, drama, everything old only, but also it followed the rules of Natya Shastra. What is music? Music also under the category of performing arts. India's musical heritage is old too. India's musical heritage is very old. Then India is very famous Carnatic music in the south. We are living in the southern part of India. So we know that very important music, that is a Carnatic music, is the south. And the north is the Hindustan music. Okay, north Hindustan music. Now listen here. Classical music also known as Carnatic music. Carnatic music in Tamil Nadu we already say Carnatic music. That is a classical music only. Then what is Hindustani? Now listen here. This classical music is known as Carnatic music. It is the south and in the north. This classical music is south and also north also have. Mostly in the southern part of India, people like Carnatic music, but the north Hindustani. This point is very very important. In southern part of India, people very much like to Carnatic music, but at the same time the North India people like Hindustani music. This classical music is based on ragas. Classical music is based on raga that are a few hundred years old. This classical music also found 300 years ago. A raga is the basic tune on which the musical builds up the play piece of music. Okay, now listen here. The heritage is passed out from Guru Shishya tradition. What is Guru Shishya tradition? Guru means we know that is teacher. Guru means teacher and Shishya means students. A Guru means teacher, has a few Shishyas, is whom to knowledge is passed on orally. Okay. So, India's music is played on variety of instruments. Some are indigenous. Okay. So, India's music is placed on a variety of instruments. Some are indigenous, belonging to a particular place. So, this drum like the tabla, this mridangam and the dholak have developed in India. Okay. Now listen here, ma. So now listen here. We know that India's music is placed on variety of instruments. That is we know. Music played means they used variety of instruments. That is some are indigenous, belonging to a particular place to India, while others have come from outside of India. Okay. Then now listen here. These other musical instruments, that is drums like tabla, the mridangam and the dholak have developed in India. Okay. The flute and the veena are also indigenous. Okay. Okay, ma. So, from this lesson, non-material heritage, we already studied that the heading category under the oral tradition. Then today we will see that this dance and drama and music. Okay, so remaining condition, the next class we will see that. So this book exercise and all the question answer copied correctly and neatly also. Okay, fine. Thank you, ma. Then next class we will see.